My husband's smile changed overnight. The truth left me broken. I always believed a smile could tell you everything about a person. My husband, Adil, had the kind of smile that lit up a room, not wide or dramatic, but warm, genuine, and comforting, like a hand placed gently on your shoulder. For 10 years of marriage, that smile had been my anchor. Through job losses, miscarriages, money struggles, and every storm life threw at us, his smile never faded. It reassured me. It reminded me I wasn't alone. It was the one constant in my world until the night it wasn't. It started subtly. One evening, he came home late, later than usual. His smile appeared the moment he saw me, but it wasn't the same. It was tight, controlled, almost practiced. His eyes didn't match it. They looked tired, distant, as if they had just returned from somewhere far away. I asked him how his day went. He answered quickly, too quickly. Busy. You know how it is. Then he vanished into the shower before I could ask anything else. That night, I lay awake watching him breathe. Something felt wrong. His body was next to me, but it felt like his soul had taken a few steps back. In the morning, he smiled again, but that strange stiffness was still there, like he was holding up a mask. Over the next week, the changes grew noticeable. He avoided eye contact, avoided conversations, avoided sitting close to me. He started leaving the house early and returning late. When I asked if everything was okay, he kissed my forehead and said, "I'm just tired, love." But his touch felt cautious, careful, like he was scared it would reveal too much. I tried telling myself it was stress his job had been demanding lately, but something in my chest twisted painfully every time I saw that strange smile. It wasn't Adil's smile. It belonged to someone hiding something. One evening, as we ate dinner in silence, I finally asked Adil, "Are you happy?" He froze. For a moment, something flickered across his face, fear, guilt, maybe both. He put on that new smile again, sharp at the edges. Of course. Why wouldn't I be? I didn't push, but my heart trembled. You know a person after 10 years. You know their eyes, their habits, their breathing, and you know when their smile is lying. A week later, everything broke. Adil left his phone on the bed while he showered. It buzzed with a notification. Normally, I never checked his phone. Trust had always been our strongest foundation. But now trust felt like a fragile glass statue, cracking with every forced smile he gave. The message read, "We need to talk. You're shutting me out too." My blood ran cold. The sender's name was saved simply as S. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding so loudly I could barely hear the shower running. Another message appeared seconds later. "I can't keep doing this if you're going to pretend nothing happened." My fingers went numb. Nothing happened. Something happened. Something big enough to change his smile. Something painful enough that he was shutting someone out. And the worst part, the messages didn't sound romantic. They sounded emotional. Deep. Like someone wounded by him. Someone who expected something from him. I didn't open the chat. I couldn't. My body felt too weak. My mind too dizzy. When Adil came out of the shower, towel around his shoulders, he saw me holding his phone. His eyes widened not with anger, but with resignation, as if he had been waiting for this moment. "Adil," I whispered, my voice trembling. "Who is S?" He didn't answer at first. He sat on the edge of the bed, buried his face in his hands, and let out a slow, broken sigh. No excuses. No lies. Just that heavy sound of someone defeated. "It's not what you think," he finally said, voice shaking. "But I should have told you." Fear crawled up my spine. "Then tell me now." He lifted his head, and for the first time in weeks, I saw his real expression, raw, vulnerable, tormented. Not the mask, not the fake smile, just Adil, stripped of all defenses. "S is Samra." His voice cracked. "My sister." I blinked. "Your sister?" He nodded. "My half-sister. The one I told you I never met." I remembered. Years ago, he mentioned that his father had another child from a brief relationship before marrying his mother. But Samra lived somewhere far away, and they hardly spoke. She was nothing more than a name. "She found me," he said, 2 months ago. My breath caught. He explained everything slowly, painfully. Samra had reached out after their father passed away. She wanted to reconnect, to understand the family she never had. But what she brought with her wasn't just a desire to bond, it was a secret. A heavy one. Their father hadn't only abandoned her, he had left her mother in crushing debt. And Samra had grown up believing she wasn't worth love. She blamed Adil's side of the family, resentment, confusion, grief tangled together. I met her a few times, Adil whispered. I wanted to help her. She's been struggling with depression. I thought I could be the brother she needed. My heart pounded with a strange mix of relief and sorrow. This wasn't an affair. It wasn't betrayal of love, but it was a betrayal of trust. He had been carrying a burden alone, shutting me out, smiling through the weight of someone else's pain, pretending everything was fine while drowning inside. Why didn't you tell me? I asked, tears slipping down my cheeks. Because I didn't want you to think less of me, he said. I thought I could fix it on my own. I thought if I told you, you'd worry, or worse, you'd think I was choosing her over you. My chest tightened. His smile hadn't changed because he was cheating. It had changed because he was hurting, because he was scared, because he didn't know how to carry guilt from a life he never chose. I messed everything up, he whispered. And now Samra thinks I'm abandoning her too. I didn't want to drag you into this. He broke down, not loudly, but silently, the kind of tears that slip out when someone has held everything inside for too long. I sat beside him and held him, not knowing whether I was comforting him or myself. For the next few days, we talked, long conversations filled with questions, fears, confessions. He showed me the messages. Samra was struggling badly. Her words were soaked with pain, fear of being rejected again. She had reached out to Adil because he was the only family she had left. But Adil didn't know how to balance both worlds. He didn't know how to carry her trauma without breaking ours. Adil asked me if he should step away from her entirely. His voice trembled as he asked. I could see the conflict tearing him apart. She needs someone, he said quietly, but I don't want to lose you. I took his hand. I don't want to lose you either. And no one deserves to be alone with their pain. That night, we made a decision together. Adil would be there for Samra, but openly, honestly, with boundaries, with communication. And I would be part of that journey too. Not as competition, not as a threat, but as family. The next day, we video called Samra. She looked shocked to see me, then embarrassed, then overwhelmed. I told her she didn't have to face anything alone, and Adil didn't either. She cried, years of abandonment melting into relief. For the first time, she wasn't pushing Adil away or clinging to him. She was simply letting herself be cared for. Over the following weeks, our home slowly regained warmth. Adil's smile softened. The real smile, the one I fell in love with, returned, not instantly, but gradually, like sunlight rising after a long storm. And every time he smiled, I realized something. People change overnight when their heart carries something too heavy. Sometimes that change looks like distance. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like a smile that isn't real. But the truth behind it, no matter how painful, can open doors to deeper understanding, stronger love, and new beginnings. My husband's smile changed overnight. But instead of breaking us forever, the truth helped us heal together.